Hello, everyone. It's Niveen, your local and trusted real estate agent with Berkshire Hathaway. And in this video, I'm going to cover three things. First, exciting news about mortgage rates. And number two, more information about the NAR settlement. And number three, open houses. Are you, as a home buyer, able to walk into an open house right now and walk out as you used to? Before I get started, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can get all the new videos. All right, so let's get started with interest rates. And this information actually is hot off the grill. We just finished our sales meeting and we just got this information. So right now we are still at the high fives. Okay, so at about 5.99 to 6%. It is guaranteed and confirmed by the Fed that they will cut rates by 0.25% in September 18. So if this happens, we're going to be at about 5.75 by September 18. But what's even better is that they are anticipating to go down by 1% by the end of the year. And if this happens, we're going to be in the high four. We haven't seen that in about a couple of years. And this is major cut down. And I just want to mention something. These rates that I'm talking about right now, yes, they are done by the Fed, but whatever is, if you are a lender, if you are dealing with a lender, depending on where they are starting. So if they are at 7%, they're going to be at 6%. If they are 6%, they're going to be at 5%, and so on. So these rates right now, they are without discount points. No points to buy down. This is by our in-house lender. So, and I mentioned before that as a buyer's agent, if I'm representing you as a buyer, all what I care about is to see a pre-approval letter. But again, I mean, having that obligation to you as a buyer, I would love for you to get the best, lowest interest rates available and the best service in the market. So again, I'm happy to connect you with our in-house lender. So right now, if you are still thinking about buying and interest rate is an issue for you, I would highly recommend that you get pre-approved right now. And when the interest rates go down to 1% and in the fours, then you can always refinance. Okay. So this is the first news. The second thing I want to talk about is the NAR settlement. And if you are not aware of what's happening or what I've talked about before, check my previous live video. So I went live a week ago and I explained everything with what NAR, the National Association of Realtors, is, the new lawsuit against them and the settlement that happened. I explained the whole story in a live video that was about a week ago. All right. So now this is actually from NAR. Okay, so I'm bringing this actually from NAR. I'm explaining to you exactly what they are saying. Here is what the settlement means for you as a home seller. Okay, and then we're going to cover the home buyer. So what does it mean exactly for you as a home seller? Number one, you still have the choice of offering compensation to buyer brokers. You may consider doing this as a way of marketing your home or making your listing more attractive to buyers. So remember what we talked about in regards of the lawsuit, that the area where the buyer's compensation or commission was mentioned on MLS is not there anymore. So this will be removed. So as a listing agent, if I'm listing your home, then I would not be able to put the buyer's compensation there on MLS. And MLS is the multiple listing service, where it's our basically database. It's our platform as agents to upload all listings to. However, there should be an agreement between the listing agent and the seller, the home seller, about what would they like to offer to the other side. Number two, your agent must conspicuously disclose to you and obtain your approval for any payment or offer of payment that a listing broker will make to another broker acting for buyers. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So if there is an agreement between me as a listing agent and you as a home seller, this should be written down in an agreement. Number three, this disclosure must be made to you in writing in advance of any payment or agreement to pay another broker acting for buyers and must specify the amount or rate of such payment. So you can offer this as a home seller. You can say, okay, I'm gonna pay the buyer's broker 2%, 2.5%, 3%, or a set fee. Number four, if you choose to approve an offer of compensation, there are changes to how this can happen. So when we receive an offer, so say for example, I listed your home right now as a listing agent, you are the home seller, I'm your agent, and we receive an offer. In that offer, the buyer's agent should have in the offer a set amount of what they want, whether in a flat fee or a commission. All right. This will be number five. You, as the seller, can still make an offer compensation, but your agent cannot include it on a multiple listing service MLS. MLSs are local marketplaces used by both buyer brokers and listing brokers to share information about properties for sale. So as I said, the only place that we are not allowed to mention compensation or commission is MLS. We can talk about it on the phone, we can write it on websites, we can do anything we want, but not write it on MLS anymore. That's number six. Your agent can advertise your listing via off MLS platforms such as social media, flyers, and websites. That's what I just covered. And the last thing is that you, as a seller, can still offer buyer concessions on an MLS. For example, concessions for buyer closing costs. Okay, so let me explain. So before there was a specific place on MLS where we used to offer or write the buyer's commission. The word commission is a taboo. We cannot say that word on MLS anymore. However, concession used to be if the seller is offering concession, meaning that he's offering the buyer credit back to do something in the house, maybe to fix that, backyard fence or something in the roof, or to change the carpet, or this is called seller's concessions. Okay, so in the seller's concession, there are going to be different areas where one of them is the buyer's commission if the seller is offering that. Okay, so these are the new rules for home sellers. Now let's go to the home buyers right now. So here is what the settlement means for home buyers. Number one, you will sign a written agreement with your agent before touring a home. Let me repeat this. You will sign a written agreement with your agent before touring a home. We've never done that before. So this is new. Okay. So as a buyer, this is the new law. I mean, I can't change it. I'm obligated as a buyer's agent. Imagine that you are looking to buy a home right now and you come to me and you want to buy a home. I have to write an agreement with you before touring a home. And this, by the way, includes virtual touring as well, because I get sometimes overseas clients and they ask me as their agent to tour a home for them. Yes, I send them pictures, but they say, can you tour that home and take a video for me and, send it to me? I just want to see it like kind of like live or something like this, Even that is considered touring a home. So I have to do that. I have to send you an agreement and you have to sign on it before. And this agreement is basically an agreement between me and you. You are allowing me to represent you. Okay, so this is by law, right? Number two, before signing this agreement, you should ensure it reflects the terms you have negotiated with your agent and that you understand exactly what services and value will be provided and for how much. This is all going to be in the agreement that I will provide to you and I'll explain and you will sign. Number three, the buyer agreement must include 4 components concerning compensation. Number one, a specific and conspicuous disclosure of the amount or rate of compensation the real estate agent will receive or how this amount will be determined. Number two, compensation that is objective, either a dollar amount, flat fee, or a percentage or hourly rate, and not open-ended. We cannot say buyer broker compensation shall be whatever the amount the seller is offering to the buyer. Let me stop here and explain. So if the seller decides not to pay compensation or commission to the cooperative broker, which is the buyer's broker, then I, as a buyer's broker, I will talk to my client, which is the buyer, and ask you, are you open to paying me a commission? Not me specifically, it's basically my company. But are you open to paying us a commission? If you say, no, I can't, then this is one of the things we write in the offer. And we're going to say that the commission to be paid by the seller. This is where the negotiation starts. But we have to know at the beginning whether the seller is offering compensation to the buyer's broker or not. So this is something, because I will offer you 2 sets of homes. I will tell you there are 5 homes that match your criteria. 3 of them offer commission. 2 of them don't offer commission. Which ones would you like to see? If you want to see only the ones that offer commission, meaning that our company is being paid by the seller. If you decide to see the other ones, meaning that you will pay our company the commission. Clear? If you have any questions, feel free to write them down. All right. Number 3, a term that prohibits the agent from receiving compensation for brokerage services from any source that exceeds the amount or rate agreed to in the agreement without the buyer. And number 4, a conspicuous statement that brokers' fees and commissions are fully negotiable and not set by law, meaning that all these services and the commissions and compensation is always negotiable. All right. And that will be number 4. Written agreements apply to both in-person and live virtual home tours. That's what I just said at the beginning. And after that, you do not need a written agreement if you are still speaking to an agent at an open house or asking them about their services. So if you're just speaking, not asking questions, because I'm going to get to the open houses right now. If you're only speaking to the agent, then there's no written agreement needed. The last one, the seller may agree to offer compensation to your agent. This practice is permitted, but the offer cannot be shared on a multiple listing service. MLSs, again, are local marketplaces used by both buyer brokers and listing brokers to share information about properties for sale. All right. So this is the second thing, and these are the new rules by NAR. We cannot change them after the settlement and the lawsuit that happened. Now, let's get into open houses. Are you, as a buyer right now, if you're a buyer and you have an open house, you just found something on Zillow or Redfin and you are not represented. Oh, let's just say you are a buyer, whether you have a representation or not, and you walk into an open house. What are the new best practice? What are the new rules, actually, the NAR rules? Well, if you are represented, if you have an agent representing you, then you usually come with an agent, then you are fine. Everything is okay. And the listing agent, if I'm the listing agent and I'm representing my seller and I'm the one doing the open house, then you walk in as a buyer with your agent, that's absolutely fine. If you walk in by yourself, usually the listing agent, the agent that's having the open house, will ask you, do you have representation? If you tell me yes, then it's recommended, highly recommended for you as a buyer to have your agent's business card with you and hand it to me. If you tell me no, then at this point, I should have an agreement to let you sign for me to represent you. These are the new rules. I didn't make anything, up. So these are the new rules. If you don't have representation, if you just want to walk and leave, that's fine. But once you start asking me questions about the house, you want to get more information, then I should have an agreement with you. You should sign an agreement for me to represent you. So these are the new rules about the open houses. I hope I covered everything. Interest rates we covered. We have great news coming up in regards of interest rates. The lawsuit, the NAR lawsuits is coming, all these rules coming up. And I just want to say something for homeowners in regards of home sellers. in regards of open houses. Now, if you're a home seller and you decided not to pay compensation, and I spoke about the consequences of that in my previous video, and I'm going to repeat them again in this video, there are some consequences. The decision is ultimately yours, but there are some consequences. First of all, the home can stay longer in the market because you are expecting a buyer that is paying his agent's commission. And this is extremely hard nowadays. And this market that we're in, with the mortgage rates, with buyers having to get pre-approved, paying closing costs, paying down payment, everything is very hard. Number two, you know, if the house gets staying longer in the market and it gets expired, I want you to think about the other listing agent picking up your home and representing you again, to sell your home. Then at this point, you have the choice again to offer compensation or not. And number three, in the open house, then at this point, no one will be able to do the open house for you except your listing agent. Because usually what happens is that we are here, for example, huge big office. We have 18 or 19 offices as Berkshire Hathaway. And if I don't have a listing, for example, right now, and I see a listing that I like on the board, we do share open houses. So, maybe the listing agent is not able to do that open house for his seller. So I'm his colleague or her colleague. I can do the open house representing the same seller. Okay, that's provided that. So in this case, if I get a buyer, then I'll be representing the buyer and the listing agent still the same listing agent. But if you are not, as a home seller, offering the other side compensation, then no one will be able to do the open house for you. Then it's only you're limiting your choices basically, and the representation, the activities on your home. And I gave an example last time by saying that one of the agents in our office, she had a listing and the seller decided not to pay compensation commission at the beginning. And after that, for 3 weeks, there were zero activities and it was completely dead. Once she did, she had an above asking price offer. So that was great. It was right away, within a few days, she got that offer and she was able to sell her home. So I hope this video explained everything. And if you are not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. And if you're looking to buy a home or sell your home, please reach out to me. My phone number is 909-631-5301. Until next time, bye for now.